So back again, the final part, the third part of lesson 4. The lesson was shot in 3 parts. The first part had an introduction, and thereafter the lesson started with analysis. The second part also in the same way. It did not have an introduction, it had the continuation and the conclusion, third part. So you have received the first and the second part video shots already, and the third part is now being shot, and after I do it, I will upload the same and send it to you, send an SMS via WhatsApp to you that the video was uploaded, and you can download it and see it. And as I have told you earlier also in my lectures, if you have any trouble in understanding the same, you may as well WhatsApp me or send me feedbacks which you have done. Likewise you may do in future also, or in the lectures, or whenever I post lectures, you may continue doing the same thing. This is just for me to know that you are understanding the lesson well, because I am not being able to see you right in front of me, as this is a virtual class and I am not doing it online also. Therefore I need to know somewhat that you are following. So I am telling you to, asking you to give me feedbacks, and nothing more than that. I think all of you are quite satisfied with the lesson that the strategy that is undertaken to teach the lesson, and I am continuing the 7th para. At 10 o'clock, the zoo gates open and the first rush of visitors arrive. As they come flooding into the grounds, everyone has to be alert. This is not to ensure that the animals do not hurt people, but to make sure that the people do not hurt animals. Now, the trouble with human beings is that excitement draws them to such extent that they begin to harm animals in the long run, and the zoo authorities, zoo officials never welcome such an act, because it means that hurting animals, which in turn hurting their own selves also, because if the animals get crossed, they are led by their moods. If their mood is off, they may do anything, and that anything may be detrimental to the cause of the entire zoo authorities as well as to the visitors. So the people are very alert over there when at 10 o'clock the visitors, the gates open for the visitors. Now you have seen that at 8 a.m. the zoo opens for what? For the officials. They clean it up, they clean up the mess, they make it tidy and hygienic for the animals to breathe, to live in, and that it's a great toil, and that takes around 1 hour 45 minutes, 1 3/4 hours to complete the job, and then it is let out for the public at 10 o'clock when the public visit begins. So the first rush of people announce that they are very gay and happy to have got admission to the zoo, and their excitement knows no bounds, and they in that flow of excitement, they may do anything. They may even hurt the animals. So it is not the animals that are going to hurt them, but the people who are going to hurt the animals in return. So the zoo authorities or the zoo officials are very much careful to see that such a thing does not happen. Clear? If an animal is asleep, they want to throw stones at it or prod it with sticks to make it move. Usual act of a human being is to disturb animals. particularly a resting animal or a sleeping animal. Now see, all the 200 days of our teaching learning process, do I teach you in the same way? Am I able to teach you in the same way? Never. Maybe Monday I taught better than Tuesday, or Tuesday I taught better than Monday. This happens. It is common to every human beings. Likewise, it is common to animals also, that their mood is not constant throughout, and so one day they may feel lethargic, on a day they may feel sick, and so under such physical conditions they may not be able to present themselves in such a way as per the requirement, as per the satisfaction of the visitors. But the visitors never care for all that. What they do, they prod them with sticks or something, just to let them just to awaken them from their resting gesture, that as if to say, why are you sleeping, why are you lying down, why are you taking a nap? Well, we have come to visit you, and so you must be ready to give company to us. Now every day that cannot be the same, and this is very detrimental, I tell you, because if an animal gets crossed at this, it may do anything. It may bring upon any harm to the person who is inflicting danger on it. We have found visitors trying to give the chimpanzees lighted cigarettes and razor blades. Many times it has been seen that animals are being allured with such things that they should not be. An instance of it is burning ends of cigarettes and razor blades. Now chimpanzees are very good imitating apes. They imitate people very much. You create a particular gesture in front of them, and they outright they will imitate you in the same way, and you will be astonished seeing them imitating the same. But this is always not good for the animals also, because many people who in their stupid acts give the chimpanzees or disturb them with the burning ends of cigarettes, and this is very detrimental. So they present the puffing gesture in front of them, and the puffing with the burning end, if it is in the front, it's okay. Sometimes they do it in the topsy-turvy way, that the burning end is put inside the mouth and the closed end peeps out, and the chimpanzee who is not used to such an act, the person who is doing it must be very used to doing it or has done it several times. But the chimpanzees, as they are not very accustomed doing so, they may burn themselves, and they may face danger, and this is very detrimental for their for themselves. So the zoo authorities are very alert for this. And razor blades also, they present themselves in such a way as if they are in a shaving gesture, and chimpanzees imitate the same. They also try to shave their cheeks, and in the course of doing that, what happens, they sometimes cut their cheeks, or they may cut their cheeks, they may create wound in them, scars may happen. All these are very detrimental. So the zoo authorities are very alert for all this. Clear? The uncivilized behavior of some human beings in a zoo has to be seen to be believed. Now the author is very much dissatisfied with such acts of human beings, because he is saying that zoo is a place of entertainment. Why disturb animals? Come to disturb animals. You come and enjoy them. Let them live in peace. You also enjoy their gestures. Go home happily. Other than doing it, why come and disturb them for nothing? This is not good at all. So we now proceed towards the 8th paragraph. Towards evening, the visiting crowd thins out. Now the sun has set, and the rush of visitors has lessened, and they are they actually towards the evening in every zoo you can see, if you have visited Alipur Zoo, I'm citing this example over and over again because living in Calcutta you can visit Alipur Zoo at the maximum, yeah, other than visiting any Mumbai Zoo or any Chennai Zoo. Isn't that so? So you are asked to visit early at 10 o'clock. If you start visiting the zoo, yes, of course in the winter months you may end it up completing the entire round of the zoo by 4 o'clock, and by 4:30 you may see that you can see that the with the sunset, the rush in the zoo is also very thin. Because people head towards home and the slanting rays of the sunlight in the cage where the crowned pigeons live. Now we move towards again the pigeon birds section. Here now we move towards the crowned pigeons. They are not ordinary pigeons. Sorry. They are crowned pigeons, and as the light fades, the robin ceases to sing and flies off to roost in the mimosa tree. Now the robin also is not in a mood to sing any further because it is already the call of the sunset. The sunset is approaching, and he has to rest too. So he moves to his own place, the mimosa tree, where he can roost. And the white-faced owls that have spent all day pretending to be great tree stumps now open large golden eyes. What is the characteristic of an owl? It is a nocturnal bird. It's not a bird that flies in the daytime, because in the daytime its visibility is almost negligible, almost zero. So towards the onset of the sunset, it usually brings itself outside and flies in the night, as it is a nocturnal drawn bird and its visibility is at the maximum during the night. So with its bright golden eyes it peers here and there, but earlier to this it looked like great tree stumps. Underline. Shadows are creeping over the flower beds and rockery. Why is the shadow being seen? It's creeping because sunset is on, and no more sunlight, or the sunlight is so thin, it's so fading that there is a creation of light and darkness, and everywhere the brightness is not the same. At some places the sun is still there with its rays, it's very fading though, and at some places it's dark. So it's almost as if light and darkness is created. And so I have a term for you for this light and darkness term. Please write it down. I'm calling out the spelling of it. Please write it down. It's called the silhouette. First of all, I'll tell you the pronunciation of it so that you can write down. It is silhouette. Actual pronunciation is silhouette. SILHOUETTE. I will repeat it twice so that you can write it down. I have already told you enough times that whenever there is a big spelling, you divide it by syllable, and so that it's easier for you to spell, and if you can spell well, you can write well. Silhouette. The pronunciation, what is the pronunciation? Silhouette. Silhouette. So write it down. SILHO. Here H is silent. Mind you that H is silent, as it is silent in case of hour, ঘন্টা. ঘন্টা মানে ঢং ঢং করা ঘন্টা নয়, 1 ঘন্টা 2 ঘন্টা, that ঘন্টা. H is silent now. Hour, we call it hour. We do not call it hour. Do we call it hour? We never call it hour. We call it hour. H-O-U-R. H is silent. Here also in silhouette, H is silent. So you please write the pronunciation also in Bengali. If you will forget the tend to forget the pronunciation, first of all you write it the English term SILHOU. You have written, I believe, and E-double-T-E. Now you take the Bengali pronunciation. Now you divide it. SILHOU. Underline it. Write Silu. Dante Shoyoshi Loy Hoshu. Silu. E-double-T-E. Write it. Ontusto Aekar Toy Hosonto. You have written silhouette. This is the meaning. The dark solid shape of something somebody seen against a light background. So there is an image of a silhouette creation because it is light and dark. There is an there is a focus of it. At some place the sun is still comparatively brighter in comparison. The rays comparatively brighter against some other place where it is completely dark. So a silhouette is being created. Okay, so lot of analysis in this part of the prose, and you have come to know many of the things. I have called out the name of many things which you did not hitherto know. So when you read them, please try to recollect. And that's why a video lecture is very important, because, and it is also beneficial because you can rewind it over and over again wherever at any point of time you get a doubt. Okay, there is a sudden chorus from the chimpanzee's bedroom. Everywhere it is calm and peace as it is the onset of the sunset. The animals and birds are also tired. Only the animal who is not at all still tired is the chimpanzee, because he is always overactive, hyperactive. He is always hyperactive. He is always on the junk to do something. He can never rest in peace. And what is he fighting for this time? You know, they are quarreling over who should have the straw. Now it is comparatively colder in that part of the world, and so during night it is colder a bit. Sorry, it's a bit more it's a bit colder than the diurnal range of temperature. The nocturnal temperature, that is why we call it minimum temperature, because with the nightfall and with the absence of sunlight, the atmospheric surrounding that gets the heat is lessened than the diurnal range, where the brightness of the sun makes it warmer. Okay, so with the onset of the sunset, comparatively the temperature is down, and it's a bit cool, or say a bit colder than the diurnal range. Now sleeping on a tree trunk or sleeping on a tree branch, isn't that pleasurable? Isn't that will not give much of a happiness as it can give when you are on a straw, and everybody is fighting for it. Who are these everybody? The chimpanzees. All the chimpanzees will definitely need, they will also ask for the straw, and everyone won't get it, very sure. Only one can get it. Who can get it? Who is the fittest can get it, and so they are quarreling over it. Okay, so you have also you can also relate it with your school activities, because you mostly you fight for the first bench. Suppose there was no coordination of this system, that anybody who comes first, who arrives first, will get the first bench. Then what would you have done? You run up the stairs, then you would have hustle and bustle and just occupied your seat. The same way the chimpanzees are doing. So the conclusion of the prose in lesson 4, A Day in the Zoo, in the 9th paragraph: as you lie in bed, you watch through the window the moon separating itself from the shadow of the trees. You hear the lions cough. Now see, the author is actually pointing at us, saying yours. Why is he doing it? It is his own zoo. Then who are we that he is emphasizing on you? It is to say that if we were to keep a zoo or maintain a zoo, whatever troubles or whatever hindrances or whatever toils would we have to undertake, that he is undertaking, that same thing we had to do. And what is it? The moon is separating itself from the shadow of the trees now, because it is already the announcement of a fresh day. Dawn is approaching, and so dusk is yet to approach towards the end of the day, close of the day. Dawn means bhor, dusk means with the sunset. Dusk arrives with the sunrise. Prior to sunrise, dawn arrives. Dawn and dusk are two antonyms, they are opposite terms. You hear the lion's cough. From nowhere you hear the lion's cough. সিংহগুলো কাশতে শুরু করে. Soon it will be dawn and the chorus of birds will take over. আবার সকাল হবে, ভোর হবে, পাখির কলতানে সব দিকে ভরে যাবে, নতুন দিন শুরু হলো. The cold morning air will ring with the song. ঠিক ভোরবেলায় অ্যাটমসফিয়ারটা কিন্তু সারাউন্ডিংটা কিন্তু খুব প্লেজেন্ট, তখন না গরম না ঠান্ডা, এটা একটা বেশ মধুর পরিবেশ. সেই পরিবেশে আবার রবিন তার সং আরম্ভ করবে. উইল রিং উইথ সং, রবিনস সং, লিখে নাও রবিনস সং। তাহলে আশা করি আমি তোমাদের ভালোভাবেই বোঝাতে পেরেছি, বিকজ আমি আগের আমার লেকচারেও এটাই বলেছি যে আমি কিন্তু কি পড়াচ্ছি আমি নিজে কানেও কিন্তু শুনতে পাচ্ছি, এক্সটার্নাল কোনো আওয়াজ আমার কানে আসছে না। আমি এই ইয়ারফোনগুলো ইউজ করছি, মাইক্রোফোনটা তো আমি ইউজ করছি, তোমরা মাইক্রোফোন হয়তো দেখতে পাচ্ছ না, বাট ইয়ারফোনটা আমি ইউজ করছি কারণ কি আমি যাতে অন্য কোনো রকম সাউন্ড ডিস্ট্রাক্টেড না হয়ে যায়, আমি যেন আমার কনসেন্ট্রেশনটাকে র্যাপড রাখতে পারি, অ্যাটেনশনটা আমার যেন র্যাপ থাকে, সো দ্যাট আমি তোমাদেরকে সব থেকে ভালো খুব ভালোভাবে লেকচার দিতে পারবো, অ্যাজ দিস ইজ আ ভার্চুয়াল ক্লাস। সো আই থিঙ্ক আই হ্যাভ ডান মাই জব। আই কুড হ্যাভ ডান ইট বেটার বিকজ আই অলওয়েজ বিলিভ দ্যাট every time we can do better. So একটু ফাস্ট তো হয়েছি কারণ আমি বলছিলাম আমার আর লেকচারে যে আমার পিসির ক্যাপাসিটি 20 minutes to 25 minutes একটা সিঙ্গেল লেকচার, তারপরে সে কিটা একটা পজ নিতে চায় যাতে আমি সেটা করতে আমাকে না হয়। অনেক সময় 1 ঘন্টা আমি টানা লেকচার দিয়ে যাই, এটা কোনো ডিস্টার্ব করে না, আবার অনেক সময় করতেও পারি, সেই কারণে আমি এই পার্টে লেকচারটাকে ডিভাইড করছি। আরেকটা জিনিস হচ্ছে একটা লং লেকচার আমি 1 ঘন্টা ধরে দিয়ে গেলাম, দেখো আমি ক্লাসে পড়ালে তো নিশ্চয়ই একটা লেসন একদিনে শেষ না, আই টেক মিনিমাম 5 days। 5 days-এ আমি যদি 35 minutes করে 5 days পড়াই, তো আমি যেই টাইমটা ক্লাসে নিচ্ছি সেম টাইমই আমি এখানেও, সেই জন্যই আমি পার্ট বাই পার্ট লেকচারটা করেছি। আশা করি তোমরা বুঝেছো, তোমরা ভালো করে পড়ে এক্সারসাইজগুলো বাড়িতে করবে। তবে এই এক্সারসাইজগুলো তোমাদের সেলফ ইভ্যালুয়েশনের জন্য আমি ওয়ার্কশিটটা আপলোডে তোমাদের দেব, যেটা তোমরা ডাউনলোড করবে। এই ওয়ার্কশিট কিন্তু বাংলা শিক্ষা পোর্টালেও চলে যাবে এবং সেখান থেকে অ্যাক্টিভিটি ওয়াইজ সমস্ত কিছু আসবে যেগুলো তোমরা করে, এবং পরবর্তী লেকচার এই লেসনেরই গ্রামার আর রাইটিং এর উপরে আমি সেগুলো আপলোড করব যথারীতি। হোয়াটসঅ্যাপ আমি তোমাদের মেসেজ সেন্ড করে দেবো। থ্যাংক ইউ ক্লাস 9, বাই।